Hey, good morning, everyone. Tim here at mine and Carolyn's house. Thought I'd sit inside today and talk to you a little bit about what's been on my heart and continue to talk about our story. Can you see my Christmas tree in the background? Me being out of the way. You see my tree back there? Um, this, when I thought about what I was going to say this morning, um, It, I don't want to say it was hard, but this being the time of the season, and then of course this is first Christmas without Carolyn being here, and I started to wear my shades this morning because my eyes are kind of red, you know. But anyhow, here I am sitting in front of you guys today, and I want to share what I always share with you, and I want to share love to you and for you, and tell you again how much I appreciate you listening to me and give me the opportunity to speak into your lives. Like I said, this is I don't want to say a hard time for me, but it's a different time for me to get used to, being by myself. And like I showed you, our Christmas tree has been up since last year. So, and I kind of wanted to share that with you too, and sitting here inside the house. And you probably can't see it real well. I don't know if you can zoom in or whatever when I'm talking on the tree, but that the tree with all these ornaments on it are love ornaments that we've received throughout our life from people out throughout our life that people's given us. It's made homemade ornaments and things like that, and ornaments that our son and our grandkids and our spiritual daughters and sons give us, and just friends over the years has give us, and it means so much to me because they continue to tell the story of love that I'm sharing with you each day. And I was going to do this, but I decided not to because I don't think I could get through it. But yeah, at this time of year was one of the times that Carolyn really enjoyed it so much. And so did I, because the things that made Carolyn happy made me happy. And so one of the things that Carolyn loved to do, she loved to sing and sing songs and things like that. And she always wanted me on Christmas to sing "I'll Be Home for Christmas," and I used to do that. And I'm not going to do that for you today, but I used to do that and sing that song to her. And so I was thinking about it, and that song says I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree. You know how the words go. And I was thinking about today that I think why Carolyn loved that song so much is that she was saying that she would be home. She would be home for Christmas in heaven. Sorry about that. And every time I think about that song and I sing that song, I think about that. I think about us all being home for Christmas. Not only here at your homes or at your house or here at my house, but that one day we'll be home with Christ. And what a great present that would be for all of us to be together again, and that we never have to be apart. And so anyhow, thank you. Forgive me for being so emotional this morning, but when I woke up thinking about that song, and I had made a Facebook post as well this morning, and I was talking about what I was thinking about all last night before I went to bed, and it was pretty late. I didn't get to bed till almost 1 o'clock, but I was thinking about this, and I woke up thinking about this morning as well, and I bet you can't guess what I was thinking about. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about love and how important love is, and how love is the principal thing, and how love is the life inside of you that you will be able to share with people and how much life God has given us. Like I said, the Christmas is such a special time for me, and not just because of the enjoyment that I have out of it, the enjoyment being my family, being with my friends, giving presents. That's one thing that Carol and I had always loved doing, is giving gifts and presents to people, and we still do that. Or now I do that. It's not just doesn't have to be Christmas or anything like that, but we're always like to give, because it had brought and does bring so much joy to us. But like I said, I was thinking about that, and again I woke up and I was wanting to share that with you, and why love is so important to have. And I love being loved, and I love to love, and I love being happy and happily being in love. It's kind of maybe a confusion of words or a mixture of words there, but I just wanted to say that to you, and that I love you very much. And not only is this time of the season to be celebrated for the love that Christ has for us, but I want you to understand that you can have Christmas all throughout your life, and every day of your life. I know I do. I work on that very hard to do that. So, like I said, we've had taught ourselves over the years to be kind and to be gentle to people. And I think once you do that, then you bring out the very best, not only in yourself, but you bring out the very best in people as well. And that's what people is wanting to have and wanting to receive. So, I've had a few people ask me. I actually had a lady at church ask me the other day, and because I heard some things I was saying to someone and about marriage and things like that. And she said, Colonel, you need to write a book, And so I'm not a very good writer, and I'm not a very good talker as well. I'm a good responder. I'm a first responder, and I respond well to the needs of people, and for the things that I hear going on in their lives, and be able to offer love, and love is the answer to the situations that you're facing and things that you're going through. I had a gentleman that I talked to, and has become one of my good friends. I've only personally met him one time face to face, but and God has put him in my heart and his family in my heart. And then at times the Lord would speak to me, and I would call him, and I'm so thankful for that because when God does that through me, and He did that not only through me, but He did it through my wife and I as well, together as a couple, and that when we'd always have that feeling or when I say feeling, that tugging inside of our heart, or I would say begin to see things or begin to hear things. Maybe they wouldn't know exactly what it was or whatever, but to be able to reach out to someone and be able to talk to them and share the love of God with them, and share our love of how we're for them. And I say to people all the time that I'm for you and God is for you, and I want you to have that understanding today, not only today, but throughout your life. Anyhow, I had that impression on me that I needed to call this guy, and so I did, and he didn't answer right away, and then he texted me back, said I'll call you later, and he never called me back later, or never called me back, and so I just felt like I needed to reach out again and talk to him. I didn't really truly understand what was going on or whatever, but I just felt that in my heart, and I'm gonna share with you what God had shown me about love, and how you look at love, and how love is. And so I kept on. I was pretty persistent, and you know how Tim is. So I was pretty persistent about, especially when I have the unction of the Holy Spirit inside of me to reach out to people, or to be able to share and to talk to people, because because I had to get that off my heart. I had to get that out. I had to get that out. It's not good for me to hold that in or not be able to say those things out. And once it's out, then it's released, and then it can accomplish whatever the Lord intended for it to do. And so I called back, and he texted me back and said, I'm not trying to dodge you or anything like that, or being elusive or whatever. And then so I kind of let it go, and I was sitting at the post office, and I like going to the post office because I like to intermix with people and talk to people, and as I go in the post office, things like that. He said, man, Tim, you're weird. You like to do weird things. You just have to accept me being a weird Tim, okay? But I'm for you, okay? Remember that. So anyhow, I was sitting out there, and I heard some things come on my phone, and so I began to look at it, and then it came to me and said, you need to call him back. So I did. I reached out to him, and he said, and then I got a hold of him, and then he said, I didn't want you to seem to think I was being elusive in a sense, or being not be able to get a hold of, but I guess I really was, because I didn't know how to talk to you about this or whatever, and anyhow the conversation went on that he began to tell me what was happening, and some things were going on in his family, and dealing with his daughter and things, and so the Lord began to give me words to say to him, and I love that, and I want you to I want you to covet that. The Bible says that you don't covet, and it says a lot of things, but that's one thing you can covet. You can covet having the Holy Spirit operating in you like that. And it's not privy only to me, it's to every one of you that knows Christ, that God will speak through you like that. Anyhow, I was able to talk to him. The Holy Spirit gave me words to say, and encouragement, and just kind of like boom, 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 it hit at every point and everything like that. And so I'm in prayer for for that situation, and I know that God will help that situation, and he will be able to overcome that, and so will the good things happen to his family. So I don't know. So sometimes when I say I don't know, when I tell you stories like that, I say, well, I don't know why I told you that, but excuse me, I do know why I tell you things like that. I had another good, precious friend. She's a precious lady that I converse with a lot, and we talk a lot, and so I'm involved with praying for her family, and being able to just stand in agreement with on things like that, and I think it's awfully wonderful to have friends like that, and anyhow, and she had actually had called me that day, and her and her daughters were going to visit some friends, some not friends, but some family members, and she asked me to pray in agreement with her, and on the trip and everything. And I have people do that all the time. They would call me, or they're going through something, or someone's sick, or they've got a loved one that's sick, and I just think it's such an honor for God to trust me to be able to pray for people. And again, like I said, I'm not totally special, but I am special because I'm God's favorite. I always say that all the time, that he allows me to be part of that. But anyhow, this wonderful friend of mine called, and she was asking for prayer as she said, we're going down for hedge protection. She knows how I believe about that, and how I have prayed over that all the time. I have a thing that I do every time I start to leave my property here. When I go up my driveway to get up on the road, and go through the gates out front and go up on the road, I always stop right before I get on the road, and I begin to pray the hedge protection around me, around my day, around my automobile, around everything, and I even pray a weird, not a weird prayer, but I have a different request. Let me say it because it's not weird to me. I always request the angels go before me, and if I'm going somewhere, even to the post office, the bank, or wherever, or on appointments, I always pray that the angels will provide a parking place for me up front, and the majority of the time that happens for me. So anyhow, that's just little nitpicking things, not nitpicking things, but little in things that entice you to do that, to pray over your day. It's not that God won't protect you during the day if you forget to or whatever, but to me it's always a constant reminder of how good God is and what God is doing for us. So anyhow, this friend of mine says that I chase rabbits a lot, but I always get my rabbit, and so my stories intertwine with each other, but they're making a foundation here when I tell you stories like that, stories that I think that I've lived through lifetimes in my lifetime, and I feel like we have different dispensations in our life and different dimensions in our life. I think I'm in the third dimension of my life, and then to be able to go on out to the fourth dimension in the spirit and things what God is wanting to do. So anyhow, she had called me and I had prayed and agreed with her. I'm a big person. When I say a big person, I'm not big no more. But when I say let's say it like this: I'm big about when someone asks me to pray that I always stop right then and pray, right then and pray, not say, oh yeah, I'll pray, and then get on down the road or whatever you're doing, and then you forget to do that, and then you realize that you didn't keep your word that you said you were going to do. So I'm big on doing that, and so I had texted her back and that how I was praying for the family and for the trip and so forth and so on, and I said that we put the hedge protection around you girls that you travel, and that no weapon formed against you would prosper, that your vehicle would run as it was mechanically designed to, there would be no accidents, then you would have a joyful trip. And so my friend and her daughters had gone, and they had a good trip, and they let me know they made it home safe, and I was thankful for that. I was at church on Sunday, and then I got a text and said that one little thing happened, and they got a chip in their windshield, and so they were kind of, I'm not saying down in the mouth about that or anything like that. I'm just saying that they didn't like that happening. Okay, and then as I was thinking about it, someone could have said, well, see there, your prayer didn't work, or y'all's prayer didn't work, your prayer agreement didn't work. And that's not true. Our prayer of agreement and the prayer agreement that I have with you and the prayer agreements that I pray and have prayed in my family, they work. They work. So I want you to text back and say, that I saw a lot of things, and that I would only speak about 3 things that I saw, that it just I was just filled with the inside of what God was saying, and that first of all, number one, that prayer did work, and number 2, and the second thing was that first of all, that the prayer did work, and the second thing is that little chip was a reminder. Now, when I said that, I'll have to explain to you that it doesn't mean that God let that little thing happen, but God will use things like that. So I think sometimes when things or little things like that happen, then we have to understand that God can use those to bring about a great success into that situation. And so, like I said again, he said the prayer did work. 2, this is a reminder, and we know that the enemy did that, and I guess the enemy was trying to make a reminder as well. Said, I'm still here, and we understand that, but we still stand against the enemy in our lives, and that the third thing is that you don't let the small foxes. And in the Song of Solomon, it talks about that small foxes, the little sly little foxes, are not big enough to pull down your vine or your life or your blessing. They always try to lean on it and push it over. So we have to be careful that we don't let the small foxes, the small things like that, to get us in a point where we don't believe that when we do pray and when we do ask God for protection, that He doesn't do that, because He does. He always does that. So we have to understand that. That being the third thing that I saw is that we don't allow small foxes, we don't allow small situations to ruin your blessings or ruin your happiness or even interfere with your love, because God will see to it that you're blessed, and then He'll see to it that you know and that you'll receive love. So I don't know. There's a couple of little stories I wanted to tell you, because God always shows me that. I mean, He just shows me volumes of things, and a lot of things. Again, that was three things that I talked about, and then a lot of times He shows me in three areas. I talked about the last time about the three areas of three levels of love, with and for and in you. Well, God will always do things like that in your life, and you'll be able to hear. But you gotta want to hear, and you got to want to receive those things from God. So I told you these couple of stories to tell you about the love story, the love story in our life, and the love story that my tree back here, that I have in the house. And like I said, I've kept it up all year. Actually, last December, when I put the tree up, people always ask Carol and said, "Did you put your tree up?" And she said, "Well, yes, I put my tree up." She said, "Well, matter of fact, Tim put it up. He puts it up each year." So, but that's fine, because it's something about to me. It's something about handling each of those ornaments. I know. I try to place them where, and this may sound kind of different too. I try to place them where they kind of speak to each other, where they kind of relate to each other on my tree, on our tree here, and then overall the voices of all those things, the voices of all those ornaments have voices. Those voices speak to me. You say, "Man, Tim, something wrong with you? You're starting to hear voices." Well, I tell you, I guess it's something been wrong with me a long time. I hear voices all the time. I hear God's voice all the time, and that's what I wanted to do. But those ornaments have voices, because those ornaments are ornaments of love. That's how they were given to us, and they were especially picked out. I even have some ornaments. If I walked over to the tree, I could get some actual little balls, little ornament balls that our cousin Carolyn, I call her my cousin as well as Carolyn's cousin, had made those herself and gave them to us. And then one of them has an R for the Rivers family. So again, like I said, those ornaments are not just ornaments. They're voices that speaks. Now, like I said, I try to arrange them. I don't always arrange them the same way each year, but I arrange them so they can correlate each other and speak to each other. And then when they speak their language to me, I hear their language, or we heard their language. Carol and I would hear their language. And anyone that would come over, they would just kind of be drawn to that. Said, this, I don't know why. Not that ornament's so pretty or whatever, but it's something about that ornament. Well, that ornament is love. And see, we're ornaments of love to God. And we want to hang our love ornament on God's tree. We want to hang it on the tree, on God's tree, because we're part of God. I'm bringing my ornament to you today through my little quirky little stories and my clearing my throat and the gestures that I make, and sometimes I repeat, and sometimes I have to say it again so it will come out right or whatever. But I'm always giving you an ornament of love. I want you to take the ornament of love today, and I want you to hang it on your tree. Your tree is your heart. I want you to hang it on your heart. First of all, to know that ornament can speak to you, to your heart. And like I said, I can hear the voices from those ornaments. They don't say, "Hey Tim, come over here." They don't say that. They just speak out. When they speak out, it's like that I begin to hear that in my mind, and especially when I look at it. when you look at love, and I'm talking about the love ornament, when you look at that decoration or that ornament of love and it's hanging on your tree, when you look at it, then you can hear its mouth, or you can see its mouth begin to talk to you. And so those ornaments talk to me because they were giving out of love. I am an ornament to you, that I'm giving you an ornament of love to hang on your heart. That ornament is not something that I composed, that I made, that I self-made. I crafted with my hand, things like that. But that's an ornament of love that God gives me. In turn to I give you. You remember I talk all the time about giving, how more blessed it is to give than it is to receive. But you can't help but to receive when you give out of that type of heart. And that's why these ornaments on this tree, I didn't have no idea that I was going to talk about this way today, or talking about my tree, But I'm bragging on the ornaments of love that I have on my tree, and I'm bragging on you, and on the ornament that I give you, the decoration or the light that I give you. That some of those ornaments are lights, and there is lights on the tree, and those are love lights, and we want to light every love light, every bulb on your tree, on you. And you know how it is. Sometimes bulbs burn out. Well, we want to go in there and take the bulb out, put the new bulb in, and then the light can come on. We want you to shine. I want you to shine. The Lord wants you to shine. Carolyn would say the same thing if she was here, that she wants you to shine. She wants you to be bright in this world. There's enough of darkness and things that are here now. And but we, when we bring love, picture this. It's an illuminating thing. It is something that sheds light on things. Things. That's not very good words. I can continue to say on things in your life. Is that it's important that you have love. And like I said, I had that on my mind this last night. And I couldn't really go to sleep until almost 1 o'clock, and then I woke up early this morning and I had it on my mind again. Because see, I have you on my mind, and I think that's a song too. I have you on my mind. Okay. Anyhow, I won't sing that for you as well, but you have been on my mind. I guess the reflections of me having Carolyn on my mind brought you to my mind to experience a love. And folks, I'm an ugly crier, so don't look at me, okay? When that happens, I ask you to look away. But anyhow, I wanted to tell you today that how much I love you, and how much what a gift you are to your family. You may not even think that, but what a gift you are to your family, and what a gift we have from God. This the time of year. It just kind of brings it all back to me, and people ask me, how are you going to feel during this time, Tim? How are you going to experience this time? I'm going to experience it in love. In the next video, I'll talk to you how God showed me what love looks like as far as I can try to draw a picture of that for you. So anyhow, thank you for letting me come into your house, into your space, into your grill, into your eyes, and be able to talk to you today. And I wanted you to enjoy my tree, my love tree that I have back here with my love ornaments that I have on that tree. So when you look at your tree, and especially those ornaments and things that were given to you, even they may not realize that they were giving you a love ornament. They were. I want you to look at the tree, different things. It's not just a symbolic thing that you put up each year at Christmas time, and it's just something that is something commercially done or whatever like that. Understand what you can get from that, and it can draw so much love from that, and understanding what has been given to you in this life. So I'm going to stop right now, and then I'm going to come back with my second part. I'll probably do 3 videos like I normally do. But I want to say what Carolyn always says: we are eternal. We are eternal. And I want you to realize that we are eternal, and that, and you're on my mind. Carolyn is on my mind. This time it's on my mind, and you all are on my mind. And I love you all very much, and we are eternal. And I'll talk to you soon as I get a Kleenex here. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks.